Does Kirsten finally find out about Camille and Liam's steamy relationship, and is Maggie smitten for the wrong guy? My name is Dakota T. Jones, and tonight we're going to be covering Stitchers, Freeform, and you are watching AFTERBUZZ TV.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
What is up, guys? We are here for Season 2, Episode 7 of Stitchers, and today's episode is called Pretty Little Liars, which is a little bit of a jab to their hit show, Pretty Little Liars. But we are going to be talking about a lot of things today. We have a lot to cover, but first let's introduce ourselves. Where can everyone find you on social media?
Hi, I'm Becca, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV.
Hey guys, I'm Gabriel, and you can find me on Twitter all the time at Double G on TV.
Now I have the Pretty Little Liars theme song.
You know what? If you're Freeform, why wouldn't you want to flex that kind of power, in my opinion?
Like,
I mean, you know your viewers go up anytime you even mention them.
I know.
So you know what? It made sense.
It does make sense.
Just brag about it.
For sure. And you guys can find me at Twitter and Instagram at Mr. Dakota T. Jones. So, okay, so basically as we open up the scene, Kirsten is still tagging her walls of her room with all the evidence.
Graffiti on walls.
The graffiti, everything. And she's adding the new piece of evidence, which is the note that the young Cameron from the Stitch left at her door. So
I don't get it.
I don't get it either, and I think she doesn't either, because it doesn't match up with the other pieces of the evidence. So she's kind of wondering, like, what is this? But, you know, Camille kind of confronts her, like, are you still tagging the walls of your room? Like, have we not moved on from this? But she's really, honestly trying to do all this to find her father, correct?
Right.
I mean, it's one of those things where she's tirelessly searching and searching, but, like, I would have thought by now we would have a little bit more information out about her father.
I actually think that the pacing is really good, and it's like making us wonder. We want more information, but like the way things are being revealed, like piece by piece, it's kind of like, well, at least we're getting reveals rather than having to wait for every reveal to happen, like in the finale of the season.
Going back to Pretty Little Liars, I hope they don't drag it on 6 seasons and then find out that her father's dead and her father's actually a transgender, like the whole Pretty Little Liars thing happened.
His name is Charles, something like that.
Her father is actually Charles.
Yeah, if it's the same kind of situation, I would be like, what the heck?
You know what? I actually got to disagree with Becca a little bit. The pacing, it is moving a little slower. I feel like, okay, we're leading up to a very big mystery, obviously. The finale is supposed to be, you know, it's not just a firecracker. We want fireworks, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why they're keeping all this under wraps. Yeah, I feel like, how are you going to set up my payoff? Because right now it has to feel earned in a TV show like this. A big mystery with all this sci-fi going on. And really, I feel like I'm getting more confused the less that they don't give us those little clues to tell us, okay, maybe it's this, maybe it's that.
Right.
Because we're not getting those sorts of clues, I feel like the pacing is too slow for me. And what I worry about that is that the payoff won't feel as gratifying when we do finally get to it.
That's true. I didn't really think of it like that, but I know that you know, we find out about, you know, the mom and how, or like the girl, the wife is dead, and then her mom answered the phone that one time, and we never really went back to that.
Yeah, we haven't gone back to that.
Yeah, and I'm like,
it's a good point.
It's been like an episode and a half, and it's like.
But we found out something else in this episode about her family.
Yes, which we will get to.
Yeah, which we'll get to, but that comes later on.
Yes, we don't want to throw it all out there yet. Becca.
I do want to get back to the finding her mom.
Yeah, same here. And I honestly kind of hope that the dad is the one that's not really around anymore, and that the mom is actually end up alive, because
maybe the whole she's dead thing is a lie.
You never know. You never know. Maybe she's just, you know, trying to hide from the government.
Yeah, trying to hide from someone.
Which, you know, if I did too, I would be off the radar.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when, you know, when you're dealing with we still have that big mystery, who's really behind the Stitch program. I mean, they do, that's one of those other mysteries that I'm still need to get a little sold on, you know, who's really tugging the strings, who's really, because Maggie has, you know, hinted at it. It's like, what do you really think the Stitch program is about? Do you really think we're doing all this just to help the LAPD?
No.
And it's still one of those things, like, do we trust Maggie still?
And you know what? Maggie's one of my favorite characters now, just because she's so mysterious and you never know whose side she's on, but you want to hope that she's on the right side. I love that. I love that you can't trust her, but you want to.
Yeah.
I love that about her.
Give you that.
She's a likable character, but it's like...
Yeah.
Kind of like Nina.
Yeah, kind of like Nina. You never know if she's really for Cameron or she's just using him to like get information.
She seems to be likable as of now. We've seen her a lot with Cameron.
Here's the thing. She seems like that nice, sweet... Dakota, those nice, sweet girls. You know, she's just into comics and wants to talk movies with you. And you think, you know what? I love you. You seem so great. And then you know what's coming next. It's always the ones you don't expect, and I feel like that's exactly what's going to happen.
Are you talking about my ex right now?
I was talking about my ex, but I mean, I guess we just didn't have that in common.
Yeah, I guess so.
Becca, is it your friend we're talking about? I don't know.
Probably not.
See, I love it. Okay, but let's get into the Stitch, because this is actually what, the episode is, going around this time. Every episode is a different person that they're stitching into, which I personally love because it's always a new storyline.
Intertwined with all of the storylines that we go back to week from week.
Yeah, exactly. So
I personally would just want to point out it's always great to see Emma Ishta in that suit real quick. I mean, after a while, you know what? It's like, it's okay having that scene one more time. I'm sorry, Becca. I gotta say it like it is for the gentlemen who watch the show. I'm sorry. But back to the Stitch, Dakota. You were about to make a great point.
Yes. Okay. So we have our first victim. Right. She has passed away. Her name is Anna Parker, and she is, working in a firm with a lot of very dishonest people, and she is one of the more honest people. She's one of the more honest lawyers, and they're working on a case. Basically, we see through her memories.
Yes,
they're working on a case. Bonnie Newberry, and basically she finds some sort of memo saying that the car that they had built, might have some malfunctions and everything, but they and they had that information before that one girl got hurt in the car and it blew up or whatever. Yeah. So she's like thinking, I have this great thing, like let's use this against them. And she's kind of like the teacher's pet of the firm. Yes.
Right.
And so Sam, which is a character we see, his name is Sam Lewis, he's kind of like the boss in a sense, and he basically is trying to tell her, look, you need to shut up, because if this gets out, our client would be so mad and this could run everything for us, run the whole case for us. So what do you think of that relationship? Because obviously Sam wants to trust her because she's kind of the teacher's pet in the sense.
We see that Sam loves her and is obviously Anna's obviously a favorite, which is why the other lawyers don't really like her that much and keep giving her the side eye kind of thing.
Yeah, and actually this whole episode kind of reminded me of the game Clue, because we have all the lawyers and it's like, okay, who did it in what room with the wrench? You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Because they all are lined up and you can't trust any of them.
I gotta say, you know what? That was a very great scene where they all try to interrogate all the lawyers, and every type of lawyer knows how to put it, wind you round and round and round. That was just hilarious, because when you think about it, it's like, let's be honest, that is what would happen if you tried to interview a room full of lawyers. They just would all go about it.
Yep.
Going back to your question, that relationship, I think that speaks... It's a very real thing as far as a law office. I haven't gotten into any trouble with the law, but it's not easy to imagine. It's not hard to imagine that, hey, you know what? You have to win the case. Mm-hmm. If you're doing this, obviously that's counterproductive. I hate to use this example, but it's like, if you're defending a murderer and he did it, but it's your job to prove he's innocent, guess what? You're not allowed to say it. That's your job as a lawyer. It's that confidentiality. It's that code. And it's the same kind of thing we saw with these characters. Yeah, she wanted to take the moral high ground. That's why we liked her as a character. Right. But obviously the work politics, that's what we really got into. That's what gave this episode its substance. Right. So I could see where the boss was coming from. Yeah. You have to... I know you're taking the moral high ground, but look, this is how we do things around here. It's just how it is.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to protect the client.
Exactly. And you kind of see where the other lawyers are kind of trying to team up. We see in the Stitch, she is hearing them talk bad about her, and they're trying to get rid of her in a sense. And I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that when they found the memo back on Anna's desk and they found the email and the drafts ready to send to the LA Times to expose the company, that was the other lawyers working against her, right, to try to frame her. If I'm correct.
I just.
That's what I kind of got from it.
Kind of.
I had actually thought when I watched that one back that it was her.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, they never really came out and said it was either way, but I feel like it was supposed to be meant that she probably was trying to take the moral, the high ground, but then at the same sense, they never really said, and maybe because, Sam was not firing her because of everything that happened, maybe they're like, well, that's not working, so let's kill her type of thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So obviously, Anna's kind of having a little bit of an affair with... No, she's not, but the other girl, mommy lawyer.
Yes.
She's having an affair.
There's
one of the other lawyers.
long, complicated
I'm
story there.
myself if I ever got to go to court, man. I mean, that one is like, this is supposed to be the high-powered
I'm for sure not hiring any of those lawyers.
Exactly.
I want the Law and Order lawyers defending me.
Yeah, seriously.
But no, definitely that added another thing, and that's another thing, going in really magnifying workplace politics. Hey, if you're not on the boat with the rest of us, we're already alienating you.
Yeah.
Now you have dirt on us, and we know you do. That's where it really got interesting. So obviously we see just how Anna got really deep in this situation.
Exactly, yeah. And, the first stitch in kind of, ends, and we see Maggie show up, and then she sees Sam Lewis, and they obviously have a very long history because you can tell there's tension. They're like, oh, I didn't know you worked here. Oh, whatever. And, in a later scene, we even hear him say something like, oh, you look angry. And she's like, you've never seen me angry. And he's like, yeah, I have, the time when I accidentally threw my darks in with your whitewash in the laundry.
I want to see Sam back because I liked what was going on between Sam and Maggie.
But I mean, in the episode, they were wondering if Sam was guilty, which we won't say whether he was or not yet, but...
Which I was thinking at the beginning maybe, just because, it wouldn't make sense. Mm-hmm. But I liked Maggie and his relationship off the bat.
What you mean. I thought what was funny about that, you see Maggie look at him and it's like, oh, you're this high-powered lawyer now? You run your own firm? You have a lot of money?
Yeah.
It's like that. I mean, we want to see more depth to Maggie too, but I also agree that I thought he was in on it. He kind of did his thing, but it's like he didn't make it easier. It's like, if you're really in charge of this, you are not actually going to give them, 500 boxes of just key card records.
Yeah. That whole thing was obviously to throw them off from finding any information out.
To just give them a big headache.
Yeah.
By the way, I know these are supposed to be, like young geniuses, but you do not go through that much paperwork in 6 hours overnight.
No.
I was watching that and it's like we went through it all and I'm like, the heck you did.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm lucky if I get through a book, half a book in 2 days.
Yeah. Yes.
No kidding. And then we have the cute little scene with Cameron and Nina during breakfast, and you want to. I mean, a lot of
She's
viewers
gone so close, so fast. I
know. A lot of viewers actually, from what I've heard, really kind of like their relationship, whether they want Kirsten to be a thing or not. They kind of have breakfast, they're getting ready to have a romantic breakfast, and then they kind of get interrupted by the phone, and Cameron's like, I've got to go, and as of now she still thinks he works for like a video game firm, I believe.
Or does she?
I don't know. See, that's the thing, is you don't know if she knows more.
Does she know more?
But as of now, apparently, she thinks he works for a video game place, and he's always having to leave. And she's like, "What video game is this? Like seriously, this is like Call of Duty?
Times.
What the heck?
What's that one with a million commercials right now? Doom, something like that. You're seeing it everywhere. Nah,
she's picking up on something sketchy.
Either she's picking up on something, or she's not bright, or. She knows what's going on already.
I think what they're trying to play to is her innocence. Like, I'm just this nice girl who loves comics.
See, I think she's trying to appear like innocent.
Yeah.
And
they always
she's not.
Yes, we just
they always.
Or like last episode where she's like, so does Kirsten like me? It's like, you just want to... You're trying to lure us into a false sense of security. That's what that is. And I think that's where Nina's coming from right now.
Sneaky. I agree.
I think she's very sneaky.
Yes. And going back into the Stitch, Anna, obviously is talking about, we need to shut this, automobile place down. Like, this is dangerous. And the client...
When they're supposed to be defending the client.
Right. Yeah. The client, Bonnie Newberry, was very, very upset and asks for Anna to be off the case. But Sam says, you can't because she's our best lawyer right now.
Which then gets us thinking that Bonnie is the one who ultimately killed her in the end.
Right, exactly. And, Kirsten obviously accuses Bonnie to her face pretty much that she thinks that she murdered Anna. And Bonnie, I honestly thought she was guilty for a long time.
No, I thought, after that I was like, oh, now maybe Bonnie and Sam work together, maybe,
Yeah, it was, that's what I thought. It was a team job.
Yeah.
When you have
I was getting the team job thing, right after that, for the first time they stitched in the episode.
Yeah.
I was getting it was a team job. Two people were working together.
See, for a while I thought, it's all of the lawyers, at the table. I thought every single one of them had their hands in it somehow, and I was like,
I think
that's where they got that, that's where they got that title of the episode. But, we see Maggie kind of thinking, okay, maybe Sam is in on this. Maybe he is a part of this team that did this. And so she goes to kind of confront him, and she's kind of being very aggressive. And he's like, what the heck? Just don't talk to my client anymore. Bonnie is, off the table, can't talk about her or can't talk to her, but I'll give you any paperwork you need. I'll give you anything you need else to find out about the killer, but just stay away from my client. And she kind of storms away, and he kind of calls her a hard ass.
Yeah.
And he's like, but you're a beautiful hard ass. As she leaves.
That whole, it's like, I hate
it's like a teasing thing.
Yeah.
I hate to say goodbye, but I love to watch you leave.
Oh my
kind
gosh.
of deal.
Yes.
That's what I was gonna say. All right, man, you do your thing then.
No, it was like a whole... Maggie was teasing him the entire time.
That's the whole time whenever he was kind of watching her leave and everything. I was kind of like, you know what, this guy can't be guilty. He just is too much of a regular guy to be guilty.
Yeah.
He and a lot of times when the camera cuts away, we see once the person leaves, we see the other kind of guy raise his eyebrows. None of that happened. He seemed very confused about the whole thing.
I think at the end of the day, what we're getting at is that, he fits for Maggie because he's not the most morally, nice person, but he's very business first. Exactly, which is why they're that perfect match for each other.
I mean, Maggie basically encouraging Camille to go behind everyone's back.
I know.
Right now,
exactly.
Which I'm not fine with. Yeah. But let's go back to the stitch for a second, the first stitch, because we saw little Cameron again.
We did. I totally forgot about that. And
I want to know who is trying to talk to Kirsten.
I know.
The real little Cameron, because I don't think it's actually Cameron.
No, there's no way. It couldn't be.
I mean, it'd be a shocker if it was.
It would be.
I don't know if anyone's suspecting that as of now. But if you are, send us your theories. I want to know. Yeah.
Let us know in the comments if you guys think, you think who's doing all of this behind their backs. And also let us know, on iTunes, rate, subscribe, everything like that. Give us 5 stars if you love us, 4 stars if you don't. And like our other host, Yale says, the other stars, they don't work. So just use the 4 and 5.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the other ones just honestly don't work. It's the craziest thing.
Yeah, they don't work. No.
But please do that. That would mean a lot to us. And but going back to this really quick, we kind of forgot to tell everyone, obviously you've probably watched the episode, Anna died by someone poisoning her drink.
Which we figured out in the stitch because Kirsten said that everything went yellow.
Yeah.
And right before she died. So we figured that one out.
So you kind of see her, kind of falling and stumbling and, then she's dead. And you're wondering, okay, obviously someone poisoned her drink, but you don't really know who or why or the circumstances. And
what they ultimately wanted to get out of poisoning the drink.
But they find out that it was by a poisonous shrub. So then,
which is odd.
Yeah, very odd. But they kind of start
random.
They start kind of going, okay, well, let's find out who has access to these poisonous shrubs, and we'll figure out who. We'll get a lead from there. So that's where that kind of leaves off. And then they all kind of confront the lawyers at the table.
That was my absolute favorite part of this episode.
They were all very snarky.
The way the lawyers interacted with with Kirsten, Camille, Linus, and Cameron was absolutely my favorite part of the episode. Also, Cameron, in the guy's office.
Yes.
Before he arrived.
Yeah.
Knocking those baseballs down was my favorite.
And he was in Randall's office, and
Cameron.
Randall is actually like almost like the ringmaster of the lawyers, if you know what I'm saying. Like he's the one who seems like he seems
a little too perfect.
He does. And, you know, he kind of gets to Cameron by, you know, giving us a little bit of insight. He's like, well, I've done my research on you, and your father was a part of this huge Ponzi scheme and, like, stole millions of dollars, and you're sitting comfortably in your little, you know, apartment loft off the money that he stole. And it really shakes him up, and he, like, tries to attack him, but then Kirsten holds him back. But, you know, that's something we never knew.
Later on.
Yeah, but that's something we kind of never knew about him. And it's one of those things where, you know, he was like really defensive, and it was a different side of him.
Yeah.
And you know, he was like, no, I don't even talk to my dad at all. You know, I got that money from my mom.
Which we haven't seen his family, so.
But you know what I like about that is, you know, we go back to that point, you know, Cameron and Kirsten, you know, they got so many things different, but now look at that, they have something in common again. All that's there is just this comic book loving girl for some reason who acts so perfect.
Yeah, you've just got some bitterness tonight to get out. Go ahead.
Dakota, do you know anyone like that? I feel like we know someone.
I feel like every one of us knows someone.
I'm kidding, Becca. You're genuine. You're genuinely nice. You're not fake. You know, Stitchers Nina nice.
No,
I'm nice.
You guys.
Exactly.
That's what they all say.
I'm lovely.
And
true.
They say
that's
that
what Nina said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And basically, you know,
Go ahead.
obviously with the big paperwork scene, you know, all the paperwork in the boxes, they're having to sort through, and Kirsten's like, you know what? She's trying to be okay with Cameron and Nina's relationship. She's like, you know, go to your dinner.
Go to your dinner. Don't bail on Nina.
Yeah. So it basically tells Cameron to ditch, and he does, but then he quickly comes back and says that he canceled on Nina, which was a big.
My heart was happy.
It was a big step, you know, and that honestly was probably the breaking point where she's gonna get mad because he's canceled on her like a lot now.
Yeah. To anyone wondering, yes, I ship Kirsten.
Yeah, you're not really a Nina Cameron person.
Yeah, I ship Kirsten and Camus. So
yeah. But before Cameron comes back, we see Linus kind of opening up to Kirsten, which I kind of like because their relationship has been professional this whole time, but they've never really had like a serious heart-to-heart moment. I don't feel like as much yet.
And they talked about that on Twitter, that it's like, you know what, we never get any scenes together. The actors are like, you're going to see that now, and you're going to see how we're going to be. And I thought it was very charming, you know what, because you know what, of all of them, he's obviously close to Cameron, you know, that's his bro. Camille, he has all that drama with Camille. He probably feels like Kirsten's like, Kirsten, you know, these people, I just need your help.
Yeah.
And you know, I think we all have friends like that at work, and you know what, that's where they were coming from, and that felt very genuine when you watched it back.
Yeah, for sure.
He definitely needed someone to talk to, and that person he needed to talk to in what he's going through right now with not really trusting what Camille is saying. It was Kirsten in the end, because Kirsten and Camille are best friends.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
And you know, he basically tells her, you know what, I have a bad feeling that Camille is cheating, or not cheating because they're not official, but I have a bad feeling that Camille is seeing someone behind my back. And of course, Kirsten sticks up for Camille. It's like, no, that could never happen. You know, she's not like that. You know, sticks up for her, and then
but I think Camille and I would call Camille and Linus pretty official.
I mean, kind of, but I mean, you can't really be that official if you're just hooking up.
You know what? It's that phrase every single person has used. It's complicated.
I know.
Yeah.
Where are we? It's complicated. Are you guys this? Are you okay? I could go on that for a while, but they are complicated, but they are certainly something.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Exactly.
Camille is definitely feeling like that she doesn't really have a choice, I don't think, because she wants to protect her friend, but she also, we see that she obviously doesn't like going behind Linus's back. So I'm going to defend her, but... So
let me ask you a question then, just to have some fun here on Stitchers. Okay, so we see this going on with Camille and, Liam?
Liam, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think, let's say hypothetically, with all these emotions running, let's say that Linus and Kirsten had a moment.
I feel
Do you think Camille would be as forgiving as Linus would be?
I definitely don't think so. And you know what? That'd be interesting. Depending on how many seasons the show runs for, I can see them visiting that storyline. I could see them doing it just to make everyone upset. Because on Pretty Little Liars, we see the relationship right now between Spencer and Caleb going on. And that's like a huge deal that everyone's like, what the heck? Like,
But also these characters, you have to remember these characters on Stitchers are older than the characters on Pretty Little Liars. Or now I guess
really.
the same
now
age.
They're the same age.
But we're starting off with them older, whereas before we started off seeing...
And there's not necessarily a 5-year time jump right now in Stitchers. So
and I don't see one happening.
No.
Really,
and not to harp on it, but you honestly do need like a whiteboard with the characters to keep track of everyone on Pretty Little Liars.
Exactly. It's almost like that on this show now.
Yeah.
Well, it is just because we see so many characters in the Stitches within each episode.
Mm-hmm.
We have so many characters that are introduced. So, I mean, I want to see some of them back.
Yeah, I agree. And like going back into the second Stitch that happens, we see Anna kind of catching Randall making out with an associate, which turns out to be the mommy. I don't know her name, but they always referred to her as the mommy because she was like talking to Kirsten
that girl
about
who's
her
just
kid.
like texting like the whole time while Kirsten is talking like, oh wait, hold on, before I answer this question, just let me text and be like, pick up something at the store.
Yeah.
And for some reason she felt the need to like say everything she was texting out loud.
I know.
I'm like,
don't you just hate
seriously?
Those people
what are you doing?
I'm just like,
shut
okay.
up.
Yeah.
The girl who Camille was questioning was also quite bad.
Yeah. Exactly.
Answering every question with a freaking question.
And
don't
Anna,
ask me any more questions.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, exactly. Anna basically also says, she catches the associates talking bad about her, and you see her kind of like raising her eyebrow, like, oh, like what's happening, and she kind of sees them turning against her in a way, and in the Stitch again, baby Cameron shows up and tells Kirsten that she has a sister named Ivy Brown.
Ivy Brown.
Which we're like, okay, so is her mom actually dead or not? Is her father alive or not? Does he actually hate her? Because why is he working against his daughter? And okay, now we have another daughter, like a sister figure named Ivy Brown.
I saw some theories online that said people thought that Nina was maybe Ivy Brown, which, I mean...
That could be it.
You never know. Half-sister.
Or what if it was
Half-sister.
Camille? Like, it could be Camille.
I would cry.
It could be.
I would cry if she's been hiding this big secret for the past season and a half. I'd be so upset.
If that were to happen, I'd be like, you know what? I can't handle this.
I'm
going back to Pretty Little Liars. I'll catch up.
I could actually see that happening.
Yeah, and also you remember that one girl, her name started with an M, and it was like season 1 or maybe it was season 2, and basically she was trying to protect Kirsten, remember, and she dies by going out to the cops.
I don't see her coming back into the storyline, but that is a good point.
I definitely see her coming back in the storyline because we never knew what happened to her, what were her motives, and anything like that. She was just meant to protect Kirsten, so like I could see like the name Ivy Brown kind of fitting with her, and maybe she was just trying to really protect her sister and then ends up dying. So that could be a theory as well.
Okay, so right now, because there's a lot of potential people who could be her sister.
Mm-hmm.
Half-sister or sister-sister?
I'm thinking half-sister for sure.
I think half-sister also.
They kind of like alluded to that fact.
Yeah. Okay.
I will throw it out there. Do you guys feel for sure it's a character we've already seen?
Yes, 110%.
100%.
I'm gonna think so. Through a Stitch or something, we've seen this character.
Yeah.
But
whether the sister's alive or not, I don't know.
Yeah, whether the sister's alive.
But I definitely think that we've seen them because these shows love to do that to us. They're like, oh wait, you're her sister? Right. It's like that's not like how real life works, but okay.
Right. Yeah. I think we haven't seen them in person, but they are a background character. We're just not aware how much they're going to come into play just yet.
Yeah. See, I could see it being a main character though. I could definitely see it.
I can't. I don't know what it is. Just because they're so set in their.
See, I started an argument.
Yeah. No. But
when you invited me to be a part of this panel, you said it's cool. We're gonna talk about the show.
Chill.
We're chill. just want to start something. No.
Becca's the little instigator, and she just sits back and watches it happen.
Once again, it's always the nice ones.
It's the nice one.
It's the nice ones you don't expect people.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm sorry, Becca.
No, we're sorry, Becca. We really do love you.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
But, you know, after they come out of the Stitch, you know, we discover that Sam and Maggie used to live together, and you know, they basically go back to confront the lawyers, and basically they confront the mommy lawyer that they're like, oh, well, you have a poisonous shrub growing in your backyard, so how convenient that it would be the exact same one and that the drink would be poisoned.
Which I'm surprised I didn't get like right off the bat from that who the killer actually was.
See, I didn't expect it until
because I wasn't expecting it until it happens, and that's the way like I always am with these episodes.
No, because you're really good at finding you know things episodes in advance usually, and I'm like, what? No, and you're like, yes. You're pretty good at it though. Like the baby Cameron thing, you predicted that a long time in advance.
Like the hair just kind of gave it away.
So basically, when I ever have any questions about anything, I'll just be like, okay, Becca, so you remember this character and this character? What's the story? And you'll just tell me, and then a few episodes later it'll play out, and I'm like, all right.
I think in other words, Becca is Stitch neurosynced into the
show.
Stitchers universe.
Yeah, pretty much.
Through Twitter.
Wait, so which if you're Kirsten, am I Cam or Linus compared to Dakota?
Yeah, pick right now.
Yeah. I mean,
that'll be a question answered. You have to watch next week to find out.
Oh, I like it. If you give us 3 iTunes ratings, if we have 2 people send it in, then we'll like divulge that.
Then I'll decide.
Yeah.
Then I'll decide.
They're gonna be like, I think the new guy is Maggie. It's like,
oh. That would be cold. But
internet. No. I'm just kidding.
So once they kind of accuse her of owning the poisonous shrub, Randall kind of stands up and is like, you know what? You know, we're not going to do any further questioning. We're done with this. And then Kirsten recognizes from the lady lawyer that she has this bracelet on. She's like, did your husband give you that bracelet, or was that Randall? Randall's like what?
Fidgeter.
It's like, uh-oh.
And
my
then
perfect story just ended.
And you can see that the mommy lawyer was like, oh crap, like I didn't know this information. And basically he used her, and then he got this poisonous shrub and was like, I'm done with this girl, and wanted to basically kill her. But he says that he was just trying to like make her sick.
Yeah, he said like he measured it, something like that. Yeah.
No. Lies. But basically, he takes Kirsten, puts a knife to her throat, right? You know, and like basically gonna kill her.
And then Kirsten went into boss mode, which I loved.
Between Kirsten and Cameron, like almost dying in these episodes.
Yeah.
Like Cameron because of Kirsten, and then this episode Kirsten
I gotta
almost
say
dying.
this: I understand they're the main characters. We have to see them in some trouble. I'm gonna pull out a family reference. You guys know the show Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Heard of it?
Yeah.
My mother's seen a bunch of them with me, and she'd be like, you notice that girl is always getting choked, but she never dies. It's the same thing when I see Kirsten. It's like someone always tries to take a knife to her, but she's always fine next episode.
I know.
I feel like, you know what? I want to see some trouble happen to some of our more background characters. Yeah. I feel like...
Let's kill
Maggie,
one of them off.
like Maggie. Let's put Maggie in more trouble. I feel like that would really help the show out, because then it's like, well, someone's got to run this, because these young people just can't. I'm sorry.
Right. We kind of see a little bit of that happen in the episode where Maggie gets shot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Well, we'll get to it at the end, more of the end, but I think Linus has a big storyline coming up where he's going to get very like emotionally distraught and stuff like that.
I could see it happening, especially with everything happening.
Like what happened at the end, especially of this episode.
And we know he's very close to his family. They talked about he's lived with his family for his whole life, despite being very successful.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. He's a family guy.
Yep, family guy. I can relate to that. But
and we've seen a lot of his parents in the past season, especially. Yeah.
And we haven't really seen his parents of the other
We haven't seen parents of the other characters as much as we've seen Linus's parents. So there's got to be some some backstory.
There's got to be a reason for all of that. Exactly. And I think that basically to wrap that portion up of the story, his name's Randall Cook, and basically he's like, Sam, like, I thought you said do anything you can for the case. And he's like, legally, not kill off a girl.
Legally. Come on.
That moment to me, I didn't like it.
You could see like something go off in his head though, and he was like, he turned crazy.
He turned insane in like 0.1 seconds.
Yeah.
So.
And basically he stole, what's her name? The mom lawyer stole her key card to get in, and basically kind of blamed it on her, but poisoned her, and that's how she died. So that kind of wraps up the whole mystery part of that.
But also, his intention, I don't think, I could be wrong, but his overall intention wasn't to kill Anna in the beginning.
You think it was just to get her off the case?
I think it was just to, like, poison her enough to get her off the case.
Okay.
But he didn't mean to actually kill her.
Yeah, I could see that, but then at the end,
because we see him at the beginning when he comes in.
That's true.
And finds Anna, and he's frantic. He's a frantic mess. Like, he didn't expect to find her dead. He's like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
He reports basically himself at the beginning.
Yeah.
So
and
it's
once,
kind of his fault the NSA came.
Yeah. And once that kind of whole thing ends, everything kind of, winds down, and Kirsten's like, hey, Cameron, do you want to hang out again? And Cameron's like, you know what? I can't. I gotta see Nina.
But Cameron already blew off Nina for Kirsten once in this episode, so he's forgiven for that one.
But this is a time when Kirsten was really wanting to have like one-on-one time with him, because she wants that relationship to still happen, and so we kind of see that happening, and we're kind of like, dang it, like, of course, she's gonna ask him and put herself out there again, and he's gonna deny her because he's got Nina waiting at home for him. But
speaking of relationships, fake relationships, everything that's happening with this relationship drama, let's talk about Camille and Liam.
Okay.
Because that part of the episode, Liam, that accent is great and all, and like his face is fantastic. I like his face.
Oh, here we go. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I like his face, but I've never trusted him since he wanted to marry Kirsten. I've never trusted that guy. I think
from the way they introduced him, what you're talking about, it's like, oh, I'm here and I'm ready to marry you.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
See, I think it'd be more believable if Liam was like Kirsten's brother than her having a half-sister, step-sister,
that'd be
or
weird,
something.
Then
that'd be so weird.
But they love on Freeform, they love to have...
I've thought about that storyline.
They love to have siblings kissing at Freeform. And they find out that they're siblings after they've already made out, and you're like, wow, this is awkward.
I've thought about a similar storyline to PLL.
So I agree with that, though. He's just is too... He's obviously, we know he's up to something, but the way they introduced him, he was always one of those characters.
I do think that Camille is actually was actually really getting the best of him, because he seems to be like head over heels for Camille now.
He was head over heels for Kirsten at the same time and was working behind her back.
But I don't think he suspects that Camille is trying to figure out like what he's up to.
That's true.
And now I think he truly believes everything is a coincidence.
Yeah.
I think well, go ahead.
No, go.
No, Camille is definitely one-upping him, because we know he's up to something. So when he's doing his thing, he's being all suave and like, let me show you how to work out, Camille. You know what? He thinks he's playing his angle, but Camille is one-upping him. Yeah. So it's fun to see that little chess match playing, but I'm waiting for the one he's gonna figure it out, and I think when we see that is that when we're gonna see the real Liam come out, and
he's gonna be mad.
Yeah, not just mad. I think we're gonna see just how potentially lethal a character he might be.
Very true. Very, very true. He's gonna like have a breaking point. He's just gonna go insane.
Yep.
Natalia said, "I think Nina is the plan B." I think so too.
I
think Nina is gonna be like part of this whole Liam plan. I think she's intertwined with him, working with Liam.
They might be together and like working together to try to figure out more information.
Because it's like Nina is going after Cameron. I don't think them meeting was a coincidence.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it could be, but I think it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But in the scene with Liam and Camille in this episode, after Linus has been talking to Kirsten, while they're going through the files and stuff, and like I don't know, I don't think Camille is like truly doing what she said she's doing.
Yeah.
Right now, like studying. No.
Yeah.
We see Kirsten walk in on Camille and Liam.
Yeah, Kirsten is not happy, and she definitely blows up.
She like her face in the back of that scene. Was a mess.
It just
like,
shows
oh,
that
God.
she's definitely showing emotion and having
the
emotion.
new Kirsten that we've talked
but
about.
I was like, I really don't want to see Camille and Kirsten fight. It'd be awkward. But
it was awkward.
Yeah,
Definitely awkward.
It was awkward, but it was like a funny awkward, which is part of the thing I like about this show.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't like them fighting. I don't like my favorite characters fighting, but it's part of the like.
If they
the
didn't
fight had me
it wouldn't be
laughing
fun.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Just because
sure.
the way they acted on each other.
All right, I have like 2 more points really quick because we kind of have to wrap it up. But I do want to mention that Linus's dad basically has some sort of problem happening. Health problem.
Yeah, health
Not
problem.
really sure, but they kind of have an awkward run-in, and that's definitely going to be a big storyline for the next episode.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's definitely something. And then the thing that I want to talk about really quick before we go into predictions is Maggie and Camille are at Kirsten's house. They kind of confront her about the whole Liam and Camille thing. And say, you know what? There's no reason to be upset. This is all a part of the plan. And Kirsten's like, you know what? No, fine. We'll do your plan, but I'm going to be the one that works with him, not you.
So now Campston's in jeopardy again.
So we kind of have to see Kirsten kind of playing the angle that Camille is playing with Liam right now. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work, because you know that there's feelings involved with Kirsten and Liam, and you know that she's going to have some kind of angle that she's going to really work out for that.
I think this whole thing, I'm going to bring it back to ships. So, you know I love ships. If you watch any after shows I do. But I think Cameron and Kirsten are going to find their way back to each other through Nina and Liam. So in the end, I'm kind of thinking I'm going to be thankful for them. But I think Nina and Liam are working together, and that's my big theory.
Which, leading into predictions, there we go.
Your AfterBuzz TV
Predictions.
Am I going home? Mothership?
All right, so basically that's your main prediction right now, is that Liam and Nina are working together?
Yes, that's one of my predictions. And then my also prediction, which I think I've said before, either on Twitter or last week, is that Camille and Fisher are going to be a thing soon.
We need to have a whole after show dedicated to Becca's predictions, because
we see Camille and Fisher like hitting it off and for a couple seconds in every episode this season.
They're getting all nice and close, nice and sweaty. He's seeing Camille in that tight clothing.
And Fisher's
She's watching him in the muscle shirt.
Yeah, that muscle shirt though.
Yep.
Yes. And then Camille winked at him. Like, I mean, not that I want him, but like.
See, I think she winks at everybody.
She does.
She's like, hey.
She's good at
not getting a wink there. I think one of my biggest predictions is at some point I feel like Maggie and Fisher might end up having some moments together. And I think that hopefully Sam comes back, because, you know, we see that relationship with Maggie. It was a past relationship. There was a lot of history. I want to see that kind of come back. And I also want to see Fisher and what was her? Mei Ling?
Yeah.
Mei Ling. I want to see that relationship come back.
I was going to say that too. I want to see that back.
I think they're kind of testing out all these little relationships, so then that way they can kind of like come back later if the fans react well to one of them. So I think that might be. What is one of your biggest predictions? Because I want to hear.
You know what? I'm gonna go out there. They're throwing us for so many loops. I'm gonna throw it out there that Linus is hurt very badly, and he's gonna just go and kiss Kirsten in a spur of the moment where they're both alone.
You got
and guess what? Kirsten's gonna be in an emotional space that she kisses him back.
Yep.
Well.
That's how it works.
Okay,
Pin
predictions. Who do you all think is like trying to speak to Kirsten through little Cameron?
I think it's definitely Kirsten's father. I think it's her father.
Okay, I'm thinking so too.
Yep.
But I also like had a split second right before the show started, and I was like, maybe it's Liam.
I feel like it could be, but I feel like Liam is working under someone, and it's very obvious, you know, with that one phone call where he's, you know, saying, well, she didn't want to marry me, so
yeah, Liam's working under someone, which so is Nina.
Yeah, so now I understand what the comment from the viewer was about Plan B. That makes sense now, but I definitely think that's going to come into play somehow. But yeah. Moving on from there, I think we're definitely going to see more of hopefully Linus, you know, with the storyline with his father, but I want to see more of Linus and Camille happen again, because it's been a few episodes. They've been very distant, so I'm hoping that they kind of, you know, get it together in a sense and are able to move on.
I want Camille and Linus back, like ASAP.
Yeah.
But I'm also worried. Natalia said that Cameron's going to be jealous. Cameron's definitely going to be jealous when Kirsten starts going after... Yeah, when Kirsten starts going after Liam, Cameron's going to be jealous, which I think it's kind of funny because Kirsten's jealous right now of Nina. But they're very good at hiding their emotions.
Yes.
Even though Kirsten now shows her emotions, she's still very good at hiding emotions. So.
And the last prediction I have is I hope that we find out more about, you know, Kirsten's mother and what happened to her, because you know what,
sister.
This weekend is Mother's Day, so we kind of have to. We kind of need to know what happened to the mother. Hopefully by next week at least.
Yeah, by Tuesday.
So if you're lucky enough to have a mother out there, give her a hug and a kiss because Mother's Day is coming up.
Definitely.
I know. I'm lucky enough that my mother is actually here, and I'm gonna get to spend Mother's Day with her, and my dad's here. So
awesome.
Super excited about that. But how about you guys let us know where we can find you on interwebs? And we will be out.
Find me on Twitter and Instagram, Becca B Talks TV.
Hey guys, I'm Gabriel. As always, you can find me on Twitter at G on TV. You guys can find me to talk about containment, Stitchers, Rush Hour, UFC, the works, NBA playoffs. It's on.
You have a mixture. It's like a melting pot.
Yeah.
I like it. And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at Mr. Dakota T Jones, and on Snapchat at Crazy Coda. Please like, subscribe, give us some comments. We love to hear from you guys, and we will see you next week for Season 2, Episode 8 of Stitchers. Thanks, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.